To start, go to the library homepage at www.pace.edu/library. Under Quick Links, click Databases, Find an Article. From the alphabetical list of databases, you'll want to either click your appropriate letter or scroll to the section of the alphabet that you need. In this case, we'll choose CINAHL. Then click the Go to Database button. Quantitative research studies are labeled in CINAHL with that phrase as a subject heading. So we can type quantitative studies in quotation marks, which tells the database to search for that exact phrase. And then we want to tell the database where to look for that phrase. In this case, we want to select word in subject heading. At this point, you would also want to limit by publication year, since we know that we're looking for research studies published in the past 5 years. So down below the search boxes, you see the other search options, and you see menus there where you can choose published dates. So for example, if we type in January 2009 through January 2014, we'd be searching the past 5 years. So now back up in the search boxes, in the second box, you'd want to type in your research topic. This is actually the hardest part of the search, coming up with the phrases or the keywords or the subject headings that you will use to describe your topic. We'll work more on this one-on-one or in Blackboard. For this particular demo, I'm going to focus on the tricks to just limiting to the quantitative studies. So in this case, my example is pressure ulcers, and again, I will put that in quotation marks, and that tells the database to search for that exact phrase. So I've told the database to look for quantitative studies, I've told the database my topic, and I've told the database the years that I want to search. So now I can go ahead and click on the search button. This finds 22 items in the entire database, and these items are sorted by relevance. This is the default setting. So the database has sorted the articles with the ones that it thinks are the best match to your search and brings those to the top of the list. Okay, so these are quantitative research studies that CINAHL has identified that matched my phrase search for pressure ulcers. So I'm going to go ahead and close CINAHL. I'm going to go back to the alphabetical list of databases, and this time I'm going to choose Medline via PubMed. So you'll see Medline via EBSCO and Medline via PubMed. Medline via PubMed is a larger database. Things are added to this more quickly than they're added to the EBSCO version, which is why we choose to use the PubMed version on occasion. So searching for quantitative research studies in Medline via PubMed is a little bit more complicated than it is in CINAHL. So what you want to do first is you want to type in your keyword or your search phrase into the main search box. So again, I'll use the phrase pressure ulcers and I'll put it in quotation marks, and then go ahead and click search. And it's showing me the results. It's just that simple phrase search. It found over 3,000 items. Now these are all the different kinds of articles that are available in the Medline database. What we want to do is we want to use the article types menu on the left, and you'll have to click on more to see the full list. We're going to need to choose from this list all the different types of quantitative research studies that are available. So I'm going to show you these items in the list. Clinical trial phases 1 through 4. You want to choose comparative study. You want to choose controlled clinical trial. You want to choose evaluation studies. And keep scrolling, and you want to choose meta-analysis. We also want to choose randomized controlled trial. We definitely want to choose systematic reviews. And at this point, since we're in this point in the list, see how review is already checked? We want to uncheck that because that would not be a quantitative research study. You also want to check twin study and validation studies. And then you click the show button. And what that does is that puts all of these article types over on the left so you can see them. If you notice though, the number hasn't changed. So we haven't actually limited our search results to just these types of articles. To do that, you have to click on each of these. So see when I click clinical trial and the number drops down to 427, and then I click clinical trial phase 2, the number's going back up, comparative study, controlled clinical trial. And again, so you'll click on each of these, and what that's telling Medline is to show me these types of articles in our list of results. Okay, and now we're down to 1,044. So still a lot, but these filters have now been activated, and you can see that here at the top, and that we're only looking at these particular types of articles. Now, again, we want to limit by publication date, and over on the left, Medline gives us this nice quick option to just click on 5 years, and we applied that, and that took us down to 371. So we're definitely down to a more manageable list of results. And I think you'd be able to start going through this list and really look for some quality quantitative research studies.